Before we begin this video, things to note. This video took a very long time to make, and I want it to do well, so if you can share this around with people you think might like it, that would be great, thank you. Also, fair warning, there's a small amount of swearing. Feel free to react to this video if you wish to do so. In other words, do it! I hope you're sitting comfortably, children, and grown-ass men, for today I bring you a story, but not just any old story. This is a story about bright, colourful ponies in all shapes and sizes, and the main one of them all happens to be a Pegacornicus, which is the most powerful pony type of all. They're as rare as a Lapras or a Zapdos in Pokemon, but I digress. Once upon a time, in a magical land of rainbows and ice cream, things were really joyous when suddenly an evil blimp came out of nowhere! Or was it three? Anyway, the big bad guy, girl, was really pissed. She was mad, so she attacked all the cute ponies, like whoosh, whoosh, oh, just like that. And then they all died, the end. Hold it! That's not how it happened! Sorry about that, I'm Brony Burniax, and today I'm going to tell you the real story of the movie. My thoughts, positive and negative. But I was telling the story, the real story. Nobody cares, f*** off. These aren't real sunglasses, by the way. Hi, I'm Brony Burniax, and they know! You said that already! Shut up! I'm Brony Burniax, and this is my first ever review on this channel. I say on this channel because I did one like 4 years ago. But don't bloody watch it because it's really old now and it's complete and utter bloody cringe! By the way, before I go any further, things I may say in this video will be referenced from comments I got on my previous videos on the movie, supplying me with helpful hints and information for this review. So here's a quick list of everyone's names that were helpful. You're welcome! Now, why am I making this review? Well,
I resent that remark. I am Sir Cottontail the 14th.
I'm bored. I have an idea. That's why. So I decided to do a review of the recent blockbuster My Little Pony the Movie, produced by Allspark Pictures and DHX Media and distributed by Lionsgate.
This movie is one of the highest grossing animated movies, not including Disney, of 2017, making $52.3 million United States dollars. The budget itself was half of that, being $29.9 million. However, it got a Canadian tax discount because its production was done in Vancouver, so the amount of money Hasbro had to invest was just $23.5 million.
So it did extraordinarily well. Even with the leaks. Plus, it happens to be one of my most favourite movies of all time somehow, so how could I resist? The movie geniusly combines traditional hand-drawn 2D characters with 3D environments, and I have to say, it paid off, don't you agree? I said, don't you agree?
Agree with me!
Anyway, enough history. What do I look like, a history teacher? You do now. The opening of this movie is simply breathtaking, showing off the stunning, superbly splendid, sublime, saturated soaring equines in all their dazzling beauty. It's enough to bring a tear to my eye. Wait a minute, is that? We got the beat, we got the beat. Yeah, we got it! Only 1 minute and 49 seconds into this movie, and it's already more dope than Hulk Hogan's mustache! Seriously, look at that thing. It looks like it wants to be independent from the rest of his face. Just like the Scottish. Aye, see you later, laddie! Yes, this cover of the song We Got the Beat is sung by none other than Rachel Platten. How do I know this? Wikipedia. What? Don't look at me with those disapproving eyes! This masterpiece of a production already from the first couple of minutes has a recognisable, plentiful picking of ponies from the show. Look, there's Mrs. Cake, Carrot Top, the GMPT, that's clearly Minuet, there's Berry Punch, Bonbon, Lyra, is that Carrot Top again? Continuity error! This is a shite movie! Oh look! And there's Spike, probably the most underrated badass of all time! When is he going to get his spotlight? When, I ask of you, DHX and Hasbro and whoever the fart makes this show!
What you talking about?
Nice Gary Oldman reference there, Spike. Anyway, our plot starts off with Twilight being totally smart, organised and cool under pressure about the upcoming Friendship Festival in Equestria. Because, you know, there's nothing she can't handle.
I can't handle this!
Yes you can! Stop doubting yourself! You can do anything! Sorry, where was I? Oh yes, the review. But first I should probably go get my Twilight plushie. Twilight tries her best to explain to the princesses to use their godly powers to set the sun and moon in very specific places during the ceremony to make the whole thing spectacular, and the princesses respond as such.
I'm trying my absolute hardest to see things from your perspective, but I just can't get my head that far up my own arse.
Needless to say, it's a definite
Narp.
For the next scene, Pinkie Pie is wrecking shop with a chaotic balloon. It's funny because it's Discord. Fluttershy is making tweets. AJ is getting drunk on Dash's favourite non-alcoholic drink. Wait, what? And Rarity is doing a fabulous thing. Yeah. After a few racist jokes about southern stereotypes, and a painful reminder of how much Spike wants to get inside of Rarity's non-existent pants, Pinkie Pie really lays on the pressure for Twilight with a pep talk so vicious that it would drive any mentally stable person to suicide, and then proceeds to sing a song about friendship. Now that I think about it, don't they always do that? This music song, in my personal opinion, was okay. Just okay. What? Was you expecting me to...
Love them!
Well, don't get me wrong, it's a good first song for the main six, but it's a little lackluster. I mean, coming from the same amazing show that spawned... I just felt that this being the first main six song was a little bit... Anyway, moving onward! After Twilight gets...
Baked in cake?
And we get that adorable appearance of the beautifully talented Samuel L. Jackson. We then move along to the... Good shit! We begin to meet the antagonist of the movie. Global warming! The signs are all there. I mean, we've got pollution in the sky that's making all the brightly coloured ponies less brightly coloured. It's insane! It's like the pure manifestation of pure evil! Oh. It's just a blimp. Who knew? Well, actually, psych! It's three blimps! The evil main bad guy, I mean girl, boss lady, has called in reinforcements! This bad girl is named Tempest Shadow, and she's like the pony version of the Dark Lord himself. No! Not that Dark Lord! That Dark Lord! I mean, all we're missing is an Emperor-type character. And the best part about her is she's clearly Jewish! Have you seen that horn?
Unity.
Then shit really hits the fan. Tempest uses her weird magic to cover Cadence, Celestia, Lunar, and oh no! Twilight! Oh, it's just Derpy. Oh no, Derpy-chan! And what the snargle are those things? Seriously, what are they? Hold on. Storm creature. Storm creature. What a load of all... So anyway, the main six get chased down by... storm creatures. And then they proceed to fall to their unlikely demise, because this is a cartoon, and the main protagonists never die. Now up Pooper Creek without a paddle, swimming in a river of sick with no floaties on. The main six think of a plan. Twilight mentions the Queen of the Hippos, which she overheard Celestia just mention 2 minutes ago.
Hungry hippos?
I see what you did there, Hasbro. You cheeky sods. The plan is to find the Queen of the Hippopotamuses. And where are they exactly?
Beyond the outer rim.
That's right, Dex, outside Equestria, a place we've never explored until now. Now let me tell you a thing or two about this place. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. Well, you know, except perhaps Mos Eisley. The main six find themselves fighting off dudes and dudettes who are trying to sell them into slavery and... Wait, what?
Hey, you with the horn. You selling?
Are those? Oh, but that's... He's collecting... Alright, that's just disgusting. Anyway, let's move on to another scene for a moment. We were just talking about slavery. That makes us the perfect segue to talk about actual slavery. Man, I'm getting some King Sombra flashbacks right about now. You know, you'd think by now Equestria would have abolished slavery. But, you know, what are you gonna do? Tempest is a little cheesed off because all the ponies are wasting all their magical abilities on parties and... Hold up, is that a phone? It is! Well, there's something you don't see every day.
Where am I supposed to be looking? I never understand how this spell works. Tempest!
Over here, Your Excellency.
Where?
Over here.
Huh?
No, right. Look right.
My right?
Yep.
Oh, there you are.
Who's this wanker? Something I forgot to mention earlier, Tempest, Shadow, and the rest of her goonies are invading Equestria on behalf of the fearsome, powerful, almighty, yada 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 yada, Storm King! He's voiced by live screen and he is hilarious!
I'm gonna power up, crash and bang, be the biggest, baddest.
So we get the full master plan of the villains. Turns out Storm King wants all 4 princesses' powers. You know, kinda exactly like Lord Tyrek. And he wants Tempest to do this for him. In return, he will grant her a new penis, I mean unicorn horn. To do this, they are using the staff of Succonus. Shalcanus. Succonus. Oh, and we also get more of an insight to this character right here, who I forgot to mention until just now. Not that he's a bad character or anything. This is Grubber, and he's the comic relief of the movie. You know, aside from Pinkie Pie, who always brings the comic relief, am I right? Grubber is the type of lackey who unintentionally pisses off his boss with his stupidity, making wisecracks about the size of her John Thomas. But when she gets mad, oh boy! I just love the colours that shoot out of her dismembered member. Anyway, so here's Kappa. What? I couldn't think of a way to segue to the next scene. So shut up. Stop picking on me! Meet the first protagonist of this movie. He's a dapper kitty cat who goes by the name Kappa. And do you want to know why they call him that? Because
I'm about to pop a cap in your ass, Nick.
he's introduced by saving the main 6 from being sold. No, like, literally. These tossers were more than likely going to sell their body parts for a bit of dosh. So out comes Kappa over here, busting some moves and singing a song for our little ponies.
I'm Mr. King Dice. I'm the gamest in the land.
No, not that song. Although, in fairness, I could see him singing that song. His music song starts off a little bit wibbly, but when the beat kicks in, it becomes awesome. One of the most catchiest songs in the whole movie. Makes you want to click your fingers to the beat, man, and it's so damn good. Sadly, I can't play any of these songs due to copyright, but you can look up the soundtrack if you want to. In fact, why haven't you? Go on, shoot, listen to it. It's good. So after hearing throughout the song that Kappa is a really nice guy and the friend you need, you know you can really trust this guy.
Here, tell Virgo my place 20 minutes. I've got something that will magically erase all my debt.
What? What was that, Kappa, old buddy? I'm sure it's nothing to do with the ponies or anything. I mean, this guy's the friend we need.
Apologies for the state of my letterbox. I wasn't expecting guests.
Ugh, you gross feline fuck! It's at this point in the movie where the main 6 find out where they need to go, which is at the top of Mount Eris, and realize it's not the Queen of the Hippos they are looking for, but in fact the Queen of the Hippogriffs.
Why don't you just watch me go and do this?
Well, I hope they're not that pissing violent in this movie. The main 6 decide to head on their merry way.
Here's Johnny.
Jesus, what the... Who the...
These ponies better shoot rainbow lasers out their eyes if they're gonna settle your debt.
How could you, Kappa? I trusted you! You were the chosen one! It was said that you would make friends with the ponies, not betray them! Star Wars references are great. Gotta love them. And if things couldn't get any bloody worse, Tempest decides to show up and is here to... Oh. Well then. We finally have some good news again. And it doesn't stop there, because the ponies escape in an action sequence so incredibly badass that it reminds me of the intro from Casino Royale. Only better because this time there's ponies. They eventually escape on board a flying pirate ship. What is this? Rayman 2? Anyway, on board they meet Captain Solano, and her crew of swashbuckling pirates.
We prefer the term swashbuckling treasure hunters.
You pirates! After yet another surprisingly catchy music song, this time between the main 6 and the pirates, who are... parrots. I see what you did there, Hasbro. Pirates. Parrots. Pyrots. The ponies motivate the Pyrots to stand on their own 2 feet again instead of being overruled by the Storm King. They all become good friends. And then Rainbow Dash decides to be an idiot and use her sonic rainbow to give away the location of her and her friends. Like, seriously, Rainbow Dash, what were you thinking? Twilight and the gang hide below deck from Tempest and then jettison themselves through the lower escape hatch of the ship, plummeting to their inevitable death. Oh, well. Quick thinking there, Twyfu.
My little pony.
Moving along a bit, they eventually make their way to the top of Mount Eris, where they find no hippogriffs in sight. They arrive at a desolate land of ruins, which clearly belongs to the hippogriffs. Upon hearing some singing, they spot a figure leap into the water and decide to jump in after it, only to discover that it suddenly vanished. They then proceed to be flushed down the bog. Anyway, the main six are now underwater and are drowning. Also, Twilight just makes the best faces in any kind of situation. Even dying from a lack of air, she looks so adorable. No, wait, they're fine. They're okay.
I'm so glad I saved you guys!
Who are you?
Princess Skystar.
Oh, well, thank you for clearing that up. Hey, wait a minute. Who are you?
I am Queen Novo.
Oh, that's nice. Also, is it just me, or does your throne kind of look like King Triton's throne? Idiot! So it turns out the merponies are actually the hippogriffs, and they had to assume the form of sea creatures in order to escape from the wrath of the Storm King, who attacked their once beautiful kingdom. Actually, they're not merponies. The correct mythological name is hippocampus. Yeah, I don't care. Go and make me a sandwich. The main six are shown exactly how they were able to turn from bird horses into sea ponies in the first place, by turning the main six into sea ponies too, and Spike into a puffer fish. You know, there's one way that I could ruin this part of the movie for all of you. Next time that Spike inflates like that, just imagine that he only does that whenever he gets horny. Then you'll enjoy the movie in a whole completely different way. Our six fish ponies are offered to stay with Princess Skystar for the rest of eternity with her best friends Shelly and Sheldon. But after the merponies refuse to help save the main six's home, the main six decided to leave. But then that turns into another really catchy music song, which I also can't play because of copyright, which actually just turns out to be a distraction devised by Twilight in order to steal the shape-changing magic pearl. Twilight! How could you? Queen Novo decides that the ponies don't deserve to be a part of their new fish race and exile them to the beach. Twilight proceeds to argue with her friends and say to Pinkie Pie of all ponies that she'd be better off with friends like her. Man, this movie took a dark turn quick. Twilight's friends minus Spike all but leave her behind. Twilight then spends the next minute crying and regretting her words just now and... Sorry, there's just something in my eyes. I'm not crying. You're crying! Spike is suddenly manhandled and Twilight has a cage dropped on her. Spike proceeds to hold his own against the storm creature, while Twilight is carried away to the airship of the fearsome Darth Tempest. Now comes one of my most favourite scenes of the whole movie, including the first of my three most favourite songs from this entire masterpiece of a pony movie. Once again, I am unable to play the song again because of copyrights, but I have created my own version of the song, a parody if you will, inspired by a conversation I recently had on Twitter with Sunset. So, without further ado, I bring you my cover of the song, Open Up Your Eyes, as sung by Emily Blunt, the voice actress of Tempest Shadow herself. Go and cook your fries. Taste the fries that I just made, impressing Mr. Ramsey. Their taste is so superb. Don't dry up your fries when they cook in the microwave. It's time to get up and get fries. Eat up, little one. Please just eat my fries. So that's my take on the music song. What can I say? I'm a fat flump and I love my food. During this music song, Tempest tells her story of her abandonment by her friends, and it's a story you really have to look at from a certain perspective. Because of her young age here, her mind isn't fully developed yet, and she has yet to experience certain things. So when she does lose her friends over the loss of her unicorn horn, she's obviously going to feel mortified. I mean, who wouldn't? But as a kid, you lose the only friends that you ever had and then begin to isolate yourself. Trust me, I know. But where she went down a dark path, I fortunately didn't. That doesn't make her weak or anything, it just means we experience things differently. Just think how you'd feel if your only friends no longer wanted to hang out with you because your arm fell off or your nipples grew 10 feet in length. I mean, they're just judging you on your looks. That's terrible. Anyway, that kind of got real for a moment there. Let's get back to being silly, shall we? So we're now back at the main six, who are feeling pretty awful about the things that were said and done with Twilight not too long ago, when suddenly Spike comes in yelling his baguettes off. Sacre bleu, your baguettes, oui, oui. Spike explains that Twilight's been captured by Tempest, then all of a sudden Kappa comes out of nowhere and he's all like, yo motherfuckers, I'm here to help, man, you so crazy motherfucker, man, you so crazy, man. And then he's brought us some help. He's brought the parrot dudes. You remember the parrot dudes? The parrot dudes are awesome. But before all of that can happen, Rarity lays down her savage smackery on the dude.
Well, look what the cat dragged in. Himself.
Utter savagery. No chill. Oh look, it's Princess Skystar. Hi Princess Skystar.
Hello.
With the gang together, they hope to take back Equestria and fight for their freedom and their friends. Aww. That's so nice. Meanwhile, we see Twilight is back in Canterlot and is being taken to the Storm King. We also hear a glimpse of the second of my three most favourite songs in this entire movie, sung by none other than Sia herself. Fun fact, before I saw this movie, I had absolutely no idea who Sia was. And now I love her music, so, thanks MLP. Here's where we finally get to see more of the Storm King. Oh, and Grubber. Wait. It all makes sense now. Grubber was the mastermind behind the whole thing. He's the real Kingpin, he's the final boss! Oh, I'm calling it now, he's the Season 8 villain, Grubber. Oh my god! He's been hiding in the shadows all along, eating cakes and stuff. Ah! Stormy uses the Staff of Satsumas to take every ounce of magic from the four princesses. Now with the power of 100 armies and the power to conquer the entire planet, he can do anything! I wonder what his first diabolical master plan will be!
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Day, night, day, night, day, night, day, night, day, night, sunrise, sunset,
Meanwhile, the only hope Equestria has left is at the front door of the Storm King. They have a plan in mind that is too crazy to work. Hiding pirates in a cake, tethered by our main cast of ponies, who are delivering a Trojan cake to the old Storm King himself. But I don't see how they're going to get past the two armored guards at the gate. I mean, even they aren't that stupid.
Unacceptable!
Now we get more from Grubber and what appears to be his final appearance. After the jig is up and he finds out that the cake contains a filling full of bird poop, the pirates leap into action, kicking some major crev. Skystar learns how to bowl, AJ puts her years of bondage fetish into good use, and Rarity wraps them up in a pretty bow. Pinkie Pie unleashes what can only be described as Cupcakes HD the reimagining, only with less blood and more actual cupcakes. Complete with psychotic faces that are sure to give you nightmares for the rest of your life. We then learn that Fluttershy makes us a pretty good therapist. It makes sense. Every time I see Fluttershy, it always makes me feel better. And to finish off strong, we finally found a good use for Spike. It's so fascinating. I knew he had a good use aside from being a pretty good door stopper. After Stormy demonstrates exactly what non-bronies watching this movie are like, we finally get to see what the Staff of Santanas can really do. Well, right now it seems to be recreating the events of Hurricane Katrina. What? Too soon? And of course we get that very cliche moment, as in most movies, where the main villain gets betrayed by their boss after being used by said boss to get what said boss wanted and become super powerful. Now Tempest is tossed aside like a damp old sock and is just about to meet her demise, when all of a sudden cliche moment number 2 happens, where the main protagonist saves a betrayed evildoer in an attempt to turn said evildoer into a good guy / girl / freaky cyborg thing. It's at this moment where the shipping starts to happen. And you know what that means? I ship it too! I mean, just look at them, like seriously, like they are really cute together. Don't you agree? I said, don't you agree?
Agree with me!
Pinkie Pie finds a use for her giant party cannon from the very beginning of the movie and proceeds to launch herself and her friends into Stormy, which ends with Pinkie landing and making the most adorable sound ever. Duh, so after a brief apology from Twilight to her friends about her poor attitude earlier, the Staff of Sandwiches spirals out of control, destroying the building around them. Canterlot's castle is looking pretty ragged these days. With the strong air currents of the tornado making things very difficult for the ponies to move, AJ pulls a rope from somewhere. Like seriously, where was that? Where does she keep getting these ropes from? Her Plot hole! Twilight takes off with her friends grabbing onto her tight, with AJ in the back securing the rope as not to get sucked into the heart of the storm while attempting to grab the Staff of Secretion. The Storm King is also on his way to the staff. He's not giving up without a fight. 30 trips and dies and falls into his own undoing. Also, Twilight dies too. Except she doesn't, because this is a cartoon and the good guys don't die. So she returns and is looking pretty windswept too. I mean, talk about a bad main day. Our main antagonists enjoy a nice warm hug and celebrate the safe return of their friend Twilight. And then the Storm King's all like, "Psych, I'm not dead, motherfuckers!" And he fires a magic blast and Tempest jumps in the way of it and takes the bullet for her new friend, which is amazing! And then he falls to his death and smashes into a million pieces, which if you think about it is the second villain death on the entire show. And it's pretty dark, really, smashing into a million pieces. I mean, you really got to think about it. That man is dead! He's never coming back. Tempest, on the other hoof, is fine, caught by Twilight using the Staff of Silicon. To finish the job and redeem herself, Tempest uses the staff to free the princesses, rebuild Cancelot, and put everything back to how it should be. Coming to the end of the movie now, and the last thing left on the list is to complete the Friendship Festival, which they had in the very beginning of the movie. And what better way to continue it, other than by getting Sia to sing her signature song for the movie! Also known as Rainbow. Celebrations happen and every pony cheers, and in the distance you can see a very sad Tempest. Twilight goes after her to comfort her though. Tempest is still really sore about her broken dickhead, but then Twilight assures her that size doesn't matter and it's how you use it that really counts. We then find out Tempest's real name, which is...
Fizzle Pop Berry Twist.
After Tempest shows off her fireworks display, she and Twilight share a moment together that clearly isn't alluding to anything at all. And then they banged. The end. So what did I think of this movie? Well, I thought it was bloody amazing. But it's not without its flaws. I think the Storm King was very underrated. I feel like he needed a lot more scenes and backstory too. The scenes we saw him in showed that he was funny, interesting, and outrageously ridiculous. If only we got additional scenes of him interacting with other characters instead of just Tempest all the time, I think that really would have made the movie a little bit better. Also, the first song of the movie with the main six just kind of lacked to me. Like, I feel like they could have done much better. I feel like the lyrics didn't really stand out. The energy wasn't there as well as it was with previous songs in the series. You know, there's a lot more well-known songs in the series that did much better than that, and I feel for a blockbuster movie, you want to pull out all your trump cards, you know? I just feel that song, while good, wasn't the best. Before I end this, I want to mention a few fun facts as quick as I can. Number 1. The banner depicting the Storm King is stylized after the classic I Want You poster of Uncle Sam by James Montgomery Flagg. Number 2. The movie is in fact canon with the series. Number 3. The movie contained traditional hand-drawn characters with 3D environments. Number 4. The movie was originally going to be released by Sony and not Lionsgate. Number 5. There was a really good 4-issue comic series called My Little Pony the Movie Prequel showing backstories of most of the characters in the movie. Number 6. Tara Strong, the voice of Twilight, got paid the most for voice acting in this movie. She got paid more than all the other main 6 voices put together. To be fair, she did have the most lines. Number 7. Kristen Chenoweth, I probably butchered that name, who plays Princess Skystar, got to choose her own main colour. Anyway, with that all said, my overall rating for the movie is a solid 8.8 out of 10. I'd have given it more, but I don't want to seem too biased. I mean, I thought the movie was bloody excellent, but I don't want to go overboard and say it's the best thing in the world. It was, however, in my opinion, one of the most fun movies I've ever enjoyed watching. A lot of the times I get bored watching the same movie over and over and over again, but I watched this a dozen times in preparation for the review, and it never seemed to lose its taste to me. It just seems to be an enjoyable movie every time you see it, at least in my opinion. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's one of the most fun movies ever. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this review and want to see more from me to do with MLP related stuff, then please do let me know in the comments down below. You know I read them all, guys. I always do. This was, however, my very first attempt, so if it's a little rough around the edges, that's because I haven't done a review in 4 years, and that was my very first one back then as well. So I don't blame you if you thought this was complete and utter horse tripe. I've been your host, Burning Axe, and I'll see you in my next video, guys. Goodbye! God, my back hurts. How long is it? 2 hours?! I've been standing up for 2 hours. Fuck. No wonder my back hurts. I'd like to thank all these amazing people and names on screen for either inspiring me, being helpful, or just simply being awesome. Thank you all so much. Have a nice day. Also, stick around for the outtakes, because I'm pretty sure you're going to get a laugh out of them. Sorry about that. Oh, awful. Sorry about that. I'm Brony Burning Axe, and today I'm going to be telling you the These aren't real sunglasses, by the way. Rubbish. I'm Mr. King Dice. I'm the devil's right-hand man. which actually just turns out to be a distraction devised by Twilight in order to steal the which actually just turns out to be a distraction devised by Twilight in order to steal the shape-changing fuck. Which actually turns out to be a distraction devised by Twilight in order to fuck. Which actually can't do this line. Where the main protagonist saves the betrayed evildoer in an attempt to turn the main protagonist. I hate myself. I want to die. Where the main protagonist saves the betrayed evildoer. Where the main protagonist saves the betrayed evildoer in an attempt. Fuck's sake. Where the main protagonist saves the betrayed evildoer in an attempt. I want to die. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, like it and bro hoof the subscribe button, and I'll see ya in the next video. Bye!